I know it's common to talk about symptoms of thyroid disorders like fatigue and feeling cold, but did you know that there are physical signs of thyroid dysfunction as well? Today we are going to be going through 12 different physical signs of thyroid dysfunction so you can be on the lookout for any potential imbalances. Let's jump in. Hello everyone, my name is Katie Krejci and I am a gut health functional medicine dietitian at Oswald Digestive Clinic, where we help people improve and eliminate bothersome gut issues like gas, bloat, diarrhea, constipation, and more. You can schedule an initial appointment on our website or just start by downloading our free guide about 5 ways to improve gut health and end food intolerances for good. The link is below. So today's topic is all about some of the physical signs that can occur when the thyroid isn't functioning properly. But before we jump in, I want to do a quick overview of what the thyroid gland is and why it's so important. The thyroid gland is located in our neck under the voice box, and it's butterfly shaped. It secretes 3 hormones, calcitonin, T3, and T4, all of which play a large role in the regulation of many body processes. Calcitonin is involved in calcium and bone metabolism. T3 and T4 are the actual thyroid hormones that are involved in metabolism, heart rate, growth, cholesterol levels, blood sugar regulation, digestion, and reproductive health. T3 is the active thyroid hormone, and T4 is the inactive thyroid hormone, which can be converted to T3 as needed. Now, T3 influences our metabolic rate by stimulating nearly every tissue in our body to produce proteins, and also by increasing the amount of oxygen that our cells use. As you can see, our thyroid gland is a key player in our health, and if thyroid disorders go untreated, we can experience things like feeling cold and tired, having weak nails, or trouble losing weight. Serious consequences can occur as well, such as cognitive impairment, dyslipidemia, which is alterations in our cholesterol levels, high blood pressure, infertility, neuromuscular dysfunction, and in the most extreme cases, a coma. So, what are some of the physical signs of thyroid disorders to be on the lookout for? Number 1 is alopecia. So that is hair thinning, hair loss, and thinning of the outer third of the eyebrow. And this can occur because T3 is a large driver in hair growth. So if your levels are low, then the body simply has trouble keeping up on proper hair growth. And this can appear as bald spots or overall thinning on the head. And also thinning of the outer third of the eyebrow is also a common sign of that thyroid dysfunction. Thankfully, this type of hair loss is typically not permanent, and regrowth can occur once the underlying thyroid dysfunction has been corrected. Physical sign number 2 is called keratoderma. Now, keratoderma is characterized by skin that has a yellow or orange pigmentation due to high keratin levels in the blood, and it often can be confused with jaundice. While this condition can certainly occur from excessively eating foods high in keratin like carrots, but hypothyroidism can also be a cause, and that's because thyroid hormone is an antagonist to vitamin A and controls its rate of breakdown. Therefore, if someone has insufficient amounts of T3, T4, they'll be less able to convert keratin to vitamin A, resulting in keratin building up in the body. Physical sign number 3 is dry skin. Our skin, like our hair, capillary flow, and sweat glands are highly regulated by our thyroid hormones. So when thyroid hormones are running low, dry skin becomes a common complication. The skin can even become rough with fine scales, which can extend to the palms and the soles of the feet. Number 4 is periorbital edema. So periorbital edema is a condition where there's swelling around the eyes, and this can occur in up to 25 to even 50% of individuals who have Graves' hyperthyroidism. And this manifests as an autoimmune inflammatory disease of the eye and surrounding tissues via stimulation of orbital fibroblasts. Physical sign number 5 is exophthalmos. So this is another eye condition that's associated with Graves' hyperthyroidism, but it's different in that exophthalmos exhibits as bulging or protrusion of one eye or both eyes from the eye socket. And this occurs due to inflammation and accumulation of fluid behind that eye, causing displacement of the eyeball forward. Number 6 is follicular hyperkeratosis. This is a skin condition that is caused by keratin buildup around those hair follicles, which creates a small raised red or dark colored bumps on the skin. And this occurs similar to physical sign number 3, which was dry skin, in that our thyroid hormones play a big role in our skin health. So when thyroid hormones are running low, our skin starts to suffer. Physical sign number 7 is goiter. So goiter is a classic sign of thyroid trouble. Goiter occurs when the thyroid gland grows in size and starts to protrude from the neck. The entire thyroid can grow larger or can develop lumps called nodules. Now, goiter can occur in both hypo and hyperthyroidism, but typically occurs in autoimmune thyroid diseases like Graves' disease or Hashimoto's. In both of these conditions, the inflammation in the thyroid gland is what causes it to grow larger. Another common cause of goiter is iodine deficiency. Iodine is essential for producing thyroid hormones, so if someone has a deficiency, the thyroid grows and makes more cells to try to increase its capacity for making more thyroid hormones. While iodine deficiency is actually very common worldwide, it's very rare in the United States due to the use of iodized salt. So definitely don't run out and buy an iodine supplement unless indicated by your health provider. Physical sign number 8 is macroglossia. Macroglossia is a condition where the tongue becomes large enough that it protrudes beyond the teeth during resting posture and is often seen in cases of hypothyroidism. The tongue can also become fissured or have cracks. Physical sign number 9 is myxedema. Myxedema is defined as swelling of the skin and underlying tissues resulting in a waxy consistency, and this typically occurs in cases of severe hypothyroidism. The swelling can be in the face, such as the lips, the eyelids, the tongue, or it can be anywhere on the body really, especially the lower legs. And this occurs due to low thyroid hormone levels driving the deposition of sugar molecules into the skin, which then attracts water and leads to swelling. Item number 10 is paresthesia. So paresthesia is the feeling of tingling or pricking or that pins and needles sensation. And while this is common, if you fall asleep on your arm wrong, this is not normal if it is occurring all the time and with no clear cause. Paresthesia typically occurs in hypothyroidism, which causes fluid buildup, swelling, and pressure on the nerves in the arms and the legs. And then this is what leads to that tingling feeling. Physical sign number 11 is thin, brittle nails or even plumber's nails. Again, thyroid hormone is very involved in tissues like our skin, hair, and nails. So nail issues can definitely be a sign of thyroid dysfunction. Thin, slow growing, and brittle nails are typically a sign of low thyroid hormones. Now, plumber's nails is a severe manifestation of nail abnormalities where the end of the fingernails actually starts to separate and lift from the nail bed. And the shape is generally concave in nature and white, and the ring finger seems to be particularly affected. Plumber's nails occurs as a result of hyperthyroidism, so the complete opposite from the thin and brittle nails example. Okay, we've made it to the last one. Physical sign number 12 is scalloped tongue. So a scalloped tongue looks how it sounds. So it's scalloped along the edges with indentations from pressing on the teeth. And this occurs as a result of physical sign number 8, which was macroglossia with the large tongue. So when the tongue swells in size, it presses against the teeth, causing those indentations. All right, so we made it through the top 12 physical signs of thyroid disorders. so what's next? If you've noticed any of these symptoms, or if you suspect that you have a thyroid imbalance, be sure to check with your healthcare provider and ask for a full thyroid panel, not just the standard TSH that's typically ordered. A full thyroid panel includes TSH, T4, free T4, T3, free T3, reverse T3, and the thyroid antibodies. Unfortunately, you'll find that conventional providers are often unable or unwilling to order this full panel. So if you're encountering this, I'd encourage you to seek out a functional medicine provider, which can include us at Oswald Digestive Clinic. And we have access to many functional labs and would love to help you uncover and solve any thyroid issues. Now, before we close, I want to offer some things that you can do to keep your thyroid gland happy. Now, before we jump in, I just want to state that this is not medical advice, and I do not know your unique medical history. If you have any concerns, please discuss these with your provider. So the first thing that we can consider is reducing exposure to endocrine disruptors, such as BPA, phthalates, and flame retardant compounds. Studies have found that BPA can disrupt thyroid dysfunction and the ability to transport thyroid hormones through multiple mechanisms. So if you're still eating and drinking out of plastic cups and Tupperware, it's time to switch over to a safer alternative such as glass or stainless steel. Definitely make sure to look up your beauty and cleaning products on the Environmental Working Group's database, or EWG, as well. And you'll be surprised by how many toxins are hidden in those products. You can find a link to this database in the notes below. Thing number 2 that you can try is reducing stress and inflammation. Cortisol is our body's stress hormone, and when it's high, it can suppress thyroid hormones and promote inflammation. A 2018 randomized double-blind study showed that the subjects who were given ashwagandha for 8 weeks had an improved TSH, T3, and T4 compared to the placebo group. So if you're looking for a great stress-relieving supplement that includes ashwagandha, I have my favorite one linked in the notes below. Another great way to reduce that stress and inflammation is getting into a daily routine of incorporating stress-relieving techniques. And this is something that I commonly include in my work with my clients. There are a lot of different techniques out there, like meditation, yoga, and deep belly breathing, and you may need to try a few of them until you're able to find one that works well for you. Stress-relieving techniques are a lot like exercise. Someone might prefer jogging, while another one prefers weightlifting, yet another prefers Pilates. You might have to try out a few until you find one that's a good fit that you enjoy and can be consistent with. Inflammation can also come from the food that we eat. The standard American diet, or the SAD diet, is typically filled with inflammatory foods such as processed carbohydrates, simple sugars, gluten, inflammatory seed oils, artificial colors, and many more. Food sensitivities are also becoming more and more common due to poor gut health, and consuming foods that you're sensitive to can also trigger inflammation. So where do we start to reduce inflammation? A great place to start is shopping the perimeter of the grocery, so avoid those tempting center aisles, cooking from scratch, and focusing on quality, healing, whole foods. Eliminating things like gluten and sugar and inflammatory seed oils like soybean oil, canola oil, or cottonseed oil, to name a few, are a great place to start. I'd like to challenge you to take a peek at the items in your fridge and pantry, and I'm sure you'll find that most of them have some form of gluten, sugar, or inflammatory oils in them. They are very common additives, unfortunately, in processed foods that we find everywhere at the grocery store today. So things like chips and crackers, and even things like salad dressings and mayo. Instead, we want to focus on high quality meats, so things that are organic, pasture raised, grass finished, wild caught, as much as possible. Organic produce and healthy fats like whole avocados, grass-fed ghee, coconut oil, cold-pressed olive oils, and nuts and seeds. And what this would look like in action is having an organic pasture-raised eggs with a vegetable hash for breakfast, having a kale salad with your favorite chopped veggies and blueberries, and a homemade olive oil dressing and thinly sliced organic grass-fed steak for lunch, followed by roasted sweet potatoes and bell peppers with baked salmon for dinner. Yum! Eating whole foods is a great way to reduce inflammation and improve your health, including that important thyroid gland of yours. Number 3, of things you can try is ensuring that you're eating a diverse diet with adequate intakes of iodine, iron, selenium, and zinc. Iodine and iron help with thyroid hormone synthesis, where selenium and zinc help convert that inactive T4 into active T3. Now, high iodine foods include things like seaweed, fish, shellfish, dairy, eggs, beef liver, and chicken. However, most of our intake in the US typically comes from iodized salt. Excess iodine intake can actually harm your thyroid as well, so definitely don't add an iodine supplement unless specifically specified by your provider. High iron foods include things like beef or chicken liver, mussels, oysters, beef, and sardines. These forms contain heme iron, which is highly absorbable. Non-heme iron sources, which are less absorbable but still helpful, are beans, tofu, dried apricots, and seeds like pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, and squash seeds. High selenium foods include Brazil nuts, fish, pork, shrimp, turkey, beef liver, eggs, and chicken. And lastly, high zinc foods include beef, pork, and chicken, shellfish, legumes, mushrooms, dairy, nuts, and seeds. The fourth thing that we can do is take care of our gut. Research has shown that more than half of patients with hypothyroidism have SIBO, so that's small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. At Oswald Digestive Clinic, we are experts at balancing gut issues and battling inflammation. So if you feel like you have some gut and or thyroid issues, we would love to help you. We can even run comprehensive testing like stool tests or food sensitivity tests to get to the bottom of your symptoms. You can get in touch with us using the link to our clinic in the notes below. I hope this information about the 12 physical signs of thyroid disorders was helpful to you and you are now feeling confident about identifying any imbalances and know where to go if you have concerns. If you'd like to explore any of this information further, do some lab testing, or obtain an individualized nutrition plan, you can schedule an appointment at our clinic using the link below. We also take insurance, and some of our clients get full coverage, which is great. Or you can just start by downloading our free guide, also linked below. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.